Hi, I'm Hazel. It's Saturday again, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I've been up to, and answer some of your questions. This week, the $1 million Doctors Without Borders charity fundraising donation goal for Daisy the Sloth has finally been met. Daisy is now available to claim from the in-game shop along with bananas. You can do this through your Blizzard launcher. You have until August the 1st in the Americas and August the 2nd in EU, Russia, and Asia to claim them. After that date, bananas is going away to whence it came. The depths of being a TCG pet, and Daisy will go into the shop as a regular shop pet for money. So if you want it for free, then do claim it now. There's no reason not to. In-game, if you target Daisy and type /beckon, she will disappear and then reappear on your shoulders in your cloak slot. That will replace your weapon appearance and also allow you to summon another pet. She becomes a buff at that point. So you can have two pets out, kind of. If you have Daisy on your back, you can have another battle pet out with you. She will go away, currently as of taping this, she will go away if you mount with her on your back. If you just have her on the ground following you around, she will follow you around, but beware, she is a sloth, she is fairly slow. And then if you use the magic pet mirror to turn yourself into Daisy, you can at that point then still target her, type /beckon, and real Daisy will jump onto you, fake Daisy's back, for a double Daisy experience, which is very much worth it. This week in patch 9.1 news, we have a fresh PTR build with a couple of new details and pieces of info in it. We now know that Shadowlands Flying is coming in chapter 3 of the new Covenant campaign, so fairly early, just a few weeks in. We also know that in patch 9.1, they are coming out with new challenge mode style dungeon teleports. So the way it works is in 9.1, completing a Mythic plus 20 on time will give you an achievement and a teleport to the entrance of the dungeon that you timed in a 20. That teleport has an 8-hour cooldown, but that resets after you finish a key. I think this is a really nice bonus for the ultra dedicated key runners and like a fun little incentive for people that are already close to like keep pushing towards those 20s. I don't see myself coming anywhere near this. I think that 15s are plenty enough for me, but it is a really cool thing for them to bring back. Also on the 9.1 PTR, the BFA Vicious mounts have made it to the Vicious Saddle vendor. So famously the wide boy, no, chunky boy? Have I already forgotten BFA memes? Big boy. Thick girl. Squishy hippo. Alright, I have no idea what I was thinking of, but this is the mount that's going to be available again. This one is Alliance only. The Horde equivalent is the War Clefthoof, and if you've never gotten one before, you get Vicious Saddles for doing rated PvP at 1400 rating or above. So you'll have this little meter on your rated PvP page, and you can fill that meter by winning rated 2s, 3s, or RBGs at 1400 rating or higher. And then the first time you fill that up, you're going to get the current season Vicious mount, but you can continue filling it up repeatedly throughout the rest of that season after your first one to get Vicious Saddles that you can use at this vendor to purchase past season's mounts. And this is the BFA mounts coming to that vendor. Also this week, the Slime Serpent secret has been solved. Turns out that if you solo the last 2 bosses of Plaguefall on heroic difficulty or higher, a curious Slime Serpent NPC spawns in the water by Domina Venomblade's boss area, and then you can pet that to get a mount. Making up an average here, I would say like a 210 plus item level tank spec character should be fine doing this, even if tank is not their main spec. I squeezed it out barely on my druid at item level 204, but that druid's usually rest out. They're not typically guardians, so I didn't have any guardian legendaries or anything, and I managed to make it work. So if you are wondering if your character is capable of soloing those bosses for Slime Serpent, I would say go try. You have nothing to lose but your time and your dignity. I did try in my 222 priest and failed miserably, so some classes and specs are going to have a better time than others. I was reading an instance sharing method discovered where a helper player can solo the Trash and then Domina Venomblade, so the Mount Farmer only needs to solo Stradama, which is more of a DPS check than a tankiness check. So assuming that that did not get hotfixed, that could be a solution, and I will post that article with details in the comments. Overall, fun challenge. I think that more specs will definitely become comfier at doing it in 9.1 as they get more gear. Other news this week, a Sylvanas Novel has been announced, so if you are a fan of WoW novels, you should like this one. It has been written by Christy Golden, the veteran author of many a WoW book, and the audiobook is being voiced by Patty Matson, who is Sylvanas' in-game voice actor. That one's available for pre-order now and will be released this fall on November the 9th. In my life this week, I have been continuing to do basically every Anima World quest. Still very much addicted to the Anima grind after those achievements went in. I'm enjoying a new practice that is for no reason, where I use the in-game stopwatch to time how long it takes me to do a given world quest and then record my time. My thinking was that I would get some data to quantify whether the world quests I hated the most were actually the slowest ones or just the ones that felt the slowest. And what it turned out is I had in my mind that like a really bad, like long Shadowlands world quest was going to be like 10, 15, 20 minutes long. And it turns out that it's only 20 minutes long if I am very much not paying attention. And if you put a timer on it, they get a lot faster. My initial findings have been that a good fast world quest is a little under 2 minutes, and then a very slow long one is like just about 5, which makes past me complaining about how long the Shadowlands world quests were sound kind of silly when I have found very few world quests that take longer than 5 minutes to do when I like put my mind to it. But it's good because I get them done a lot faster. I find that I can, even without flying, smash through pretty much every Anima World quest in under an hour, like 45, 50 minutes or so now. And that should only get faster with flying, which is good because I'm going to need some extra world questing time if I'm ever going to get 10,000 pet charms together for that bauble worm, which apparently can now put a rainbow buff on you in the PTR. Fun fact. And questions for this week. Sebastian wants to know what content is going away in 9.1. Any mounts, pets, achievements. So because this is not the end of an expansion, but just the end of a patch, as far as I know, we're just looking at standard season stuff. So the big one would be the Season 1 Keystone Master mount and achievements will no longer be available once the new season starts. So this is what the mount looks like, and that is for doing a plus 15 in time of every current Shadowlands dungeon. There will be a new version for Season 2, and my understanding is that it's just a recolored version of the same mount, but the currently colored version is limited to this season, so that is limited duration. Similarly, current season Vicious mounts will not be available once the new season starts for a while, but in the expansion after Shadowlands, they will eventually make their way to the Vicious mount vendor the same way that the River Beast is making its way back now. So the current Vicious spiders are going to be taking a long hiatus. They will eventually be back, but if you want them, now is the time to just grind them out through the Vicious system, because you're going to have to do that anyways, and if you don't do it now, you'll have to just do it in like 3 years, right? So 2 years, 3 years? What is time? For achievements, you're looking at Ahead of the Curve and Cutting Edge for Nathria. There is no mount tied to that. That's typically a last rate of the expansion thing, but the achievements are limited duration, and I think that's it. If I'm missing anything big that's going away at the end of this patch, I'm trusting the comment section to fill me in, because I will need to know too. And Sarah says, I'm tired of doing the Rescue Souls quest now that I have upgraded all my Sanctum features and I don't have a use for them. Does 9.1 have anything that requires souls, and should I start doing the quest again to save up? So I have so far found no new use for redeemed souls. Now that you are capped, you should be getting an offer at least of 500 anima per week if you do the quest again. If you don't need the anima and you don't have any plans to switch to a different covenant and then start grinding up those buildings, for example, to pursue the cosmetics of a different covenant without needing another alt, if you're not doing that, then I would just consider leaving the souls in the maw where they are. 9.1 is still in development, so that could change, and I could also have missed something and be mistaken, but I'm leaving them in the maw. And Steve wants to know, will Stygia reset in 9.1? So there is no reset, but Stygia is also not being used for new stuff, so you don't really need to grind it in anticipation of 9.1 stuff. The current socket will continue to be available, but it will only work on Season 1 items, so you cannot stockpile sockets for use on your new 9.1 gear. And the Stygia conduit upgrades are also staying capped at item level 226, so you don't need to stockpile your Stygia. And that has been the week. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments of the most recent news video and include the word question to help me find it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.